Rockstar has a new mini update that was just deployed to GTA Online this week, and today we're going to be diving deep into this GTA Online update, breaking down all of the gameplay changes and patches that have hit Los Santos, plus we'll talk about the Autoshop bug as well that had players in a pretty bad way before the weekend, but the good news with that is, well, it's all fixed. So all that and more today, so definitely stick around for this video. If you enjoy this episode at any point, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything GTA Online and Rockstar games, then please consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So in the latest GTA Online update, Rockstar introduced a background update and hot fix addressing several glitches and player experience issues. However, it is not all smooth sailing because these patches, while they were a step forward in terms of gameplay integrity, there were some major unintended consequences. Most notably, the Autoshop property and business operations that have been negatively impacted here. And this caused quite a stir in the player base this week, as it affected a legitimate revenue stream for us as players. Our Autoshop property and business was basically reset to its stock form, where we had to perform a setup mission once again for the Autoshop to bring things back to normal each time we loaded into the game or switched sessions during our grind throughout the day. Now once you did that setup, all your upgrades and modification settings were restored, but since many of our money bonuses had to do with the Autoshop this week, it was a real pain, and it was a very annoying barrier to have to start our day doing that setup mission to fix our business each time. Now thankfully this was patched about a day and a half later, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit later on after we break down all of the other patch changes that took place in GTA this week. So jumping into those changes, we have a bug that affected the play area upper height during the Big Shot deathmatch, which has been fixed. This likely improves the vertical play boundaries, which ensures players can't exploit those out of bounds areas so that they can gain an unfair advantage during the deathmatch. Players will also find relief that with the resolution of a frustrating bug where one could become trapped in another player's personal vehicle inside the casino parking garage, this fix should also help maintain the flow of gameplay here, allowing players to return vehicles or leave sessions without the previous hindrance. And then perhaps to the dismay of some players, we have a series of patches that have been applied to address various exploits that players have been using to gain unfair advantages or disrupt gameplay, and these include a notorious glitch involving the Terabyte. So the Terabyte off-radar glitch was a significant issue that players exploited during the give cars to friends process, and this exploit basically enabled players to turn off their radar visibility while using the Terabyte, which was a feature that obviously isn't intended to be part of normal gameplay. And then further than that, players took advantage of this to give high value vehicles to their friends, circumventing the intended game mechanic that requires players to obviously purchase vehicles through in-game websites using hard-earned or bought in-game currency. And this form of glitch essentially allowed for the free exchange of expensive vehicles amongst their friends, which in Rockstar's eyes disrupts the in-game economy and perhaps gave certain players an unfair advantage, especially in terms of asset accumulation or financial progression in GTA Online. And by patching this glitch, Rockstar aims to protect their shark card bottom line even further and also restore balance to the game's economy and ensure that the acquisition of high-value items follows the pathways designed by the game developers themselves. Rockstar also took action against the agency god mode workaround glitch, and this was a particularly troublesome exploit here that allowed players to achieve invincibility by leveraging mechanics within the agency property. Rockstar had previously attempted to patch a version of the god mode glitch, but players found a workaround that continued to offer them invulnerability. This gave certain individuals the ability to engage in activities without the risk of being eliminated by other players, disrupting the intended danger and risk of criminal activities in the game, but more so made that general free mode PvP combat completely unbalanced because of how fast this glitch got popular amongst the free mode PvP community and some griefers. Now, the latest update did finally address this workaround, which closed the loophole, reinstating the vulnerability that is essential for fair play and excitement of the game. Next up, the car-to-car merge glitch and workaround was another exploit that impacted the game's vehicle economy here, and this glitch basically enabled players to transfer vehicle upgrades and modifications from one car to another without incurring the normal associated costs, and of course just the fact that you can do it in general if it wasn't actually meant for a specific car, and it effectively allowed players to bypass the game's gameplay progression system, unlock those high tier vehicle modifications without the intended investment of time or in-game money, By patching this exploit, Rockstar once again ensures that players follow the intended options for vehicle customization, which is a core aspect of the GTA Online experience, as opposed to completely allowing a glitch like this to go unchecked, where you could potentially have issues of certain car mods that provide a very significant advantage, get those applies to a standard vehicle where they wouldn't normally have those mods, and that may ruin the balance of said vehicle because there's no obvious or glaring drawbacks that allow it to be countered by other players, which by default makes it unbalanced and maybe even overpowered. And then lastly, the bunker, CEO, and MOC dupe glitch was an exploit that had a significant effect on the in-game economy as well. Again, in Rockstar's eyes, I'm just talking about this from the perspective of them because it allows players to duplicate vehicles, and this glitch was used in conjunction with that MOC, which is obviously a hub for modifying vehicles in the game, and this allowed players to create copies of their vehicles, and this could be sold for large sums of in-game currency, thereby reducing the incentive for legitimate gameplay. And with this patch, Rockstar has taken steps to prevent this type of duplication, once again with their focused aim to maintain that economic balance and value of vehicles within the game. But as I always say, they ultimately do this just to protect their own income, as opposed to doing it to halt players from duping vehicles, or of course doing it for, the benefit of other players in free roam or something like that. If Rockstar didn't have the data that leaving these glitches unchecked impacted shark card sales, well then they'd probably just leave it, just like they do every other glitch that's still around to this day that negatively affects us as players, but Rockstar isn't incentivized to fix it because it isn't taking money away from them in that case. But since this one does impact shark cards either indirectly or directly, because those players who took advantage of the glitch, while I would also argue that they're not likely to buy shark cards in the first place, Rockstar preventing methods from obtaining money outside of either playing missions or buying GTA money overall just entices players to take an easy way out through dupes, exploits, glitches, and more to avoid long gameplay sessions or just opening up their wallet to skip the gameplay loop and grind for content. So those were all the background update changes that Rockstar brought into the game this week, but like I said earlier, Rockstar also broke the Autoshop. So how exactly did they respond to this massive issue in their game? Well, Rockstar quickly took action by rolling back this background update, essentially undoing all of these recent patches, including the fixes for the God mode, vehicle merges, and duplication glitches, and this rollback was aimed at resolving that Autoshop reset bug that plagued players post-update. But the story doesn't end there, because in a twist which I'm surprised by, Rockstar then redeployed a new version of the background update, and this latest move was intended to re-implement the necessary patches to the aforementioned glitches in this video, while also ensuring the Autoshop remained functional and operational. So now the Autoshop reset bug should not occur, and that suggests that Rockstar has managed to find a balance between fixing those game-breaking exploits and also maintaining the integrity of the Autoshop's operations, which is a good thing. So overall, this was certainly a chaotic week of back and forth for all of us GTA Online players, with patches being implemented, rolled back, and then reintroduced in a corrected form. I totally get that it was probably really frustrating to deal with this nonsense this week while we had the Autoshop bonuses that were active, but thankfully this didn't happen last week while the double money on the Autoshop robbery contracts were active as a bonus in the game, because imagine if we had that glitch then. That would have been an absolute nightmare, and the whole community would have been ablaze with anger and frustration. But anyways, before we wrap up today's video, I'd love to know, were you impacted by this Autoshop glitch? I did receive some comments from players on either Xbox or PlayStation that this glitch wasn't occurring for them, but it did for me every time that I logged into GTA this week on PC until it was fixed. So I'd love to read about your experience this week in my comments section down below. With all that said, we'll be wrapping things up right here. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video here today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best GTA Online and Rockstar Games content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you'd like to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to use those platforms and ask me any questions on there. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my links to my social media can be found in the description box down below. That being said, once again, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next GTA Online video. Adios, amigos.